DJ, we gotta go. We gotta run.
No, please, no.
What? What's wrong with you, man?
The Gill Man, he's killing all of our friends.
What friends?
He's got George. Oh God, he's got George.
Who is George?
Right next to Carrie. Oh no, Harry. Who got married?
Who are these people?
The people who work on the other side of the show.
There are no people dying.
Wow. And we call the Gill Man a monster.
Not my fault that they don't matter.
Finally. Take that, Dad. I did something productive dying for science. Take me, Gilman. Take me so hard.
Welcome back to Entertainment Rebooted and yet another episode of Cinema Revisited, the classic Universal monster movies, where we are watching all of the, you guessed it, classic Universal monster movies. And we're talking about the good, the bad, the ugly, and the iconic of these classic films. I am, of course, joined by none other than my esteemed co-host, DJ. Say hi, DJ.
Hi, DJ.
I allowed that once. Don't make me alter the deal.
All right, I tried it twice. I'm done.
Yeah. Don't make me get the Gill Man.
Okay.
Then he'll actually take out a people.
Uh-huh.
Speaking about Gill Man taking out people, we watched none other than 1954's Creature of the Black Lagoon, starring none other than the Gill Man and a variety of other people. So before we get into good, bad, ugly, iconic, DJ, if you could, let's give the people what they definitely did not ask for, because we don't ever get feedback in the comments below. Give us the plot summary, please, if you could, for Creature of the Black Lagoon.
There was a plot?
That joke's almost as tired as this channel.
Oh. No, seriously. There's a doctor, like, in the Amazon searching for, I don't even say, just stuff, I guess.
He's searching for fossils because they're trying to find kind of like the missing link. They're finding fossils of creatures that were around about 150 million years ago, because the Amazon is relatively untouched.
Oh, there was a plot. Okay. Anyway, he's looking for that and finds a hand, a skeletal hand of a webbed fingered creature that looks kind of like almost humanoid, which is kind of funny because when they finally meet the creature, that seems to surprise them. Like literally like a human hand with webbing, and they're like, it's a humanoid creature? Anyway.
I mean, if you found a single finned hand and a dinosaur popped up, I'd be pretty surprised that there was a humanoid dinosaur that popped up.
I guess. Anyway.
It's the only
finds it, goes back to the school he's from, and gets more help to come back and dig for the rest of the skeleton. They come, David, the young gung-ho researcher, Mark, the money man, and then
an
older doctor Kay, and then and the rest of them all come back with the boatman, and they go down the Amazon River in order to go back. And when they returned, the creature has killed 2 of their people that he left behind. And so they realize something happened, but they don't know who killed them. They do the expedition, and then they start 8 days in. They don't find anything. They decide they're going to go down deeper down the river to find it.
Because they think that the river has somehow shifted the rock formation that the hand was found in. So it's farther down the river in a lagoon, a black lagoon.
A black lagoon.
It's considered to be paradise, but has yet to be confirmed because nobody's ever come back.
And so they go, and they look for every creature. They find the creature alive, and then the rest of the film is just them and the creature basically taking pot shots at each other. They get the creature gets them. They get the creature gets them. Half the freaking expedition dies, and they act like it doesn't matter until one of the actual doctors dies.
And then suddenly suddenly the expedition has a single martyr. 5 people are dead at this point. One of them's critically injured. But don't worry, we had captured the Gill Man. He got out, killed the important person.
So the money man Mark gets killed, and they finally decide to fight the creature by stunning it. Because the creature has put a dam and blocked their way. They were just going to run, and creature wouldn't let them, so they decide to attack it. They spray it with the chemical stuff, knock it unconscious, get the thing out of the way. But then he climbs up while they're getting the wood and takes the girl Kay to his cave lair, and they go in there and confront him there, and then they shoot him like 30 times.
And that's finally enough for him to slowly amble away and then drown. Ironically.
Well, they did say early in the film that he could drown if he was stunned because his gills won't work. Because you have to go for gills to work, you have to move.
Yeah.
If you don't move, you drown. So he, the creature just kind of sinks to the bottom of the water, and then it ends right there. It doesn't even go back to give the characters any closure. It ends with the creature sinking into the water.
It's reminiscent of the first 3 Universal monster movies, where literally the ending of the film is just the creature that they're fighting, the supernatural entity monster thing, dies.
Yes,
and that's the end. They don't even give you any.
Well, even Dracula though, and Frankenstein give the couple a moment of reprieve. They don't even get that. There's nothing. It's just done.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's the movie.
It's a pretty simple plot. Speaking about things that are definitely simple, but we'll probably find a way to make it extremely complicated. What's good about this movie?
The creature actually was pretty good. I don't know that I would call it iconic because it's not like we've seen so many other monsters done better. But one of the things that was actually really good and kind of impressive is the Gilman thing looks like an actual creature.
Yeah.
There's these moments where it's standing and it's doing the breathing thing, like it's trying to figure out how to breathe air, and it's going.
Yeah.
And it looks kind of bizarre, but real, like it's actually trying to breathe. Yeah. And it's just real. It's really cool, and the effects are really cool that go with it. The person that played, I think you said it was, but the guy who played the Gilman was like, it's like an athlete level of ability to swim underwater, and that freaking suit had to be heavy and cumbersome, and he made it look actually somewhat natural, like an awkward fish man creature would act. Like it's not quite sure if it's supposed to swim or walk, and it acts like it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it kind of walks under the water, sometimes it tries to swim on land. It's not quite figuring it out. And it looks really it looks like they took stuck between water and land very literally.
Yeah. And
put it to screen. That was good.
Yeah. Personally, I would say that what's good about this movie is that it's actually a horror movie. The last 2 that we've seen were Abbott and Costello, which are obviously comedies, but even before that, all of like the House of Dracula, House of Frankenstein, and I think even the one before that was that Revenge of the Invisible Man was before House of Dracula.
It was Mummy. It was in that, but it was in that list. Yeah, and the Mummy ones. Yeah, a lot of them had a lot of high humor in them.
Yeah, they were just like extremely campy. They weren't actually really all that horrific. The Mummy one was that's second to the last one, had a horrific ending, but otherwise the tone of the films have been relatively campy overall. This one actually tries to come off as more of an actual horrific thriller kind of thing, where there is this unknown creature, they're in the Amazon, this unknown area. It is a genuinely scary premise. I think that the only reason that modern day audiences wouldn't find it nearly as terrifying is it's 1955. There's not a lot that they can really show on screen.
Yeah.
We're kind of desensitized to violence due to media, cartoons, and movies as they are now.
That's fair.
But I say that the tone's good.
Okay.
I was glad to see them back into an actual like monster. It felt like a classic monster movie.
That's true.
How about bad?
The bad is that it's not a very good classic monster movie.
That's fair. I mean,
There's a lot. The main bad to this film is it's just kind of boring. There's so many parts of the film that felt like they just didn't know what to do. They do there's like a 5-minute scene where they're trying to winch up a branch, and they show the entire process of them trying to winch this branch up, and nobody's talking. They're just really just kind of tugging on it, and he's just doing his thing. I'm like, what is this? It's like a documentary, and they're just like watching somebody work.
yeah.
There's a lot of that in this film. When the doctor goes to meet them, they're all on the this buoy dock and they're diving. That's really interesting. He comes up and they talk for a little bit and they move on. It's like they get the pacing really well in the beginning of the film, but once they get back to the Amazon, the pacing just stalls.
To hop onto that one, I would say that the bad is that it suffers from 1950s, 1960s sci-fi pacing.
Yes.
Where you really have the introduction really moves. You have this interesting premise. It literally starts as a sci-fi movie.
It world builds really solidly,
Yeah.
and then once the world building's over and it gets to the plot, there's no plot.
Exactly.
It's like the world building was the point of the film. Look at this cool, interesting, fascinating place. What are we doing here again?
Well, right, and it moves very quickly as it introduces you to all the different characters, and then the initial tension of the creature coming in and murdering everybody. That was actually relatively quick. What ends up happening, though, is that the pacing really tanks when they finally confront the Gillman, because Gillman kind of moves a little bit cumbersomely, but also it does suffer. It feels like a campy sci-fi movie where when they're actually fighting the creature, he has to come at them 3 times at the minimum for them to actually be able to defeat him, and it's just the exact same motion 3 different times.
Yeah.
That's one thing where it's like, even with Pat watching the Godzilla films, when they do more of the sci-fi stuff, it suffers from that as well, where it's like, well, doing it once is anticlimactic, doing it twice, it just feels kind of bland. Let's do it 3 times. But the problem is that the way that they do it is literally just Gillman swims up to man, he pumps him full of roofies. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then he comes back around from a different angle, but he comes back around and he gets roofied in the face. And then he comes back around a 3rd time and he gets roofied in the face.
A lot of other films that do the monster or the sci-fi thing better, the attack or the method of attack or how it's done changes in order to make it more interesting.
Yeah.
This one, it's just him just trying the same thing over and over and over again. Both directions. They keep trying the same thing. He tries the same thing. And it just feels like a stalemate.
Right. And as a result,
nothing changes.
Yeah. And as a result, the pacing really sucks.
Well, they even capture him and then he just gets out. And then I was like, oh, that's really interesting. What are they going to do with that? And then it's just them fighting the exact same way they have the entire time.
Well, and then it's also eventually the thing that they've been doing the entire time works eventually. It has all of the issues of a cheap sci-fi movie where it's like you only find one scientific solution to fight him, and because it's kind of lame to show once, you have to show it 3 times. They try conventional weapons and he's beyond conventional weapons. However, the issue with this one is that the conventional weapons eventually get him in the end.
Yeah.
So
we just didn't do it. We didn't
do it enough.
Shooting him 30 times didn't work. Shooting him 60 times will work. Yeah, that is a problem.
So, yeah, I would just say the bad of it is that it suffers from sci-fi tropes, but also the pacing is 100% a sci-fi, 1950s, 1960s sci-fi.
Yeah.
How about Ugly? The pacing's bad, but what's the actual thing that you would probably warn somebody about heading into the movie?
The main confrontation with the creature. They set it up really strongly to be this interesting, because the creature shows up almost in his entirely kind of early, which is rare for a Universal film. Usually the monster gets a little bit of time to like in Dracula or some of the other ones, they show a different side of him first. He just shows up as the creature pretty quick. Yeah. It's actually kind of reminiscent of the Mummy films in a way, where the mummy is controlled by someone. He shows up pretty quick.
The mummy is always a monster, whereas, Frankenstein, we see him develop into this monstrous entity.
Yes.
Dracula, we eventually see his monstrous side after he's already been suave and charming.
Yes. But the mummy does a better job of the monster the whole time, because this one comes up, he murders those 2 people in the cabin, and then you're like, oh man, this thing is just violent. We don't know. And then they go down to the lagoon, and then they have like a standoff with him the entire movie. The whole last third of the film just feels like they ran out of ideas, which we talked about a little bit. But what hurts it the most is the actual confrontations with the creature. Like when they run into him, are the same action over and over and over again. He comes and like he kills somebody, and then okay, he got someone. All right, what is he gonna do with this? And then he runs away.
Yeah,
he kills somebody and then runs away. Like he's just like like it's like an assassin, like just taking out one at a time.
well, and not even really.
But like poorly, and they almost get him several times. But he's like clumsy and lame. It's the creature's not conniving. It doesn't seem to be intelligent enough to like. It's almost more curious than anything. It's like violent and curious, but they treat it like it's an intelligent creature at their level, and so it makes for a really weird dynamic between the protagonist and the creature. Mm-hmm. The whole film we were trying to figure out who's actually the bad guy here. Who's the good? Like, is the creature just a creature, or is it like an intelligent being? And the movie can't figure out what the creature actually is. I can't even find the right words to put it. It would be like if the Frankenstein film, The Frankenstein's Monster, was like incredibly intelligent in one scene and then completely idiotic in another one, without acknowledging it. Like, it just happened. That's kind of how this movie works. The creature's motivations and like, it's not really bestial. It's not really humanity, which may have been the point. Maybe they're trying to do that fish man thing again, like where it's not really quite intelligent, but it's not really stupid. But it's just none of the actions make sense. None of the interactions make sense.
Well, right. It's extremely violent and malicious in one scene, and then the next scene it's like, well, it's just a dumb animal.
Yes.
So it's just
and the
scientists, if they left it alone, then nothing would have happened.
And the scientists are the same way. And sometimes they're like intelligent scientists making scientific, and other times they're just animalistic making really dumb choices.
Money.
Right. And you're like, okay, and you can make the argument that that's the point of the film. That's fine, but it's poorly done.
Yeah.
It's confusing. It doesn't come across as, oh, they're just as much an animal as him. He's just as much as intelligent as them. No, it comes across that nobody, like the script keeps changing directions in the middle of the film.
It's like we have to force a confrontation, so the Gilman has to show up again. Does he have a reason to show up? No, we haven't really established that.
There's no established motive. I think that's the way to put it. There's no established motive. The human characters have a motive. They want to capture him for different reasons. Right. They're really bad at doing it, but
then once they try to leave and leave him alone, he traps them.
Yes,
which doesn't make sense if he's just wanting them to leave. So now he's being malicious and he wants to kill them all.
Right.
But before, it's like the interactions that they had with him, he's always fleeing or he's very nervous towards.
It was curiosity turned into I'm gonna get you guys, and it's just confusing. Yeah. And it doesn't make any sense really to like the film as a whole. Any philosophical statement you want to make doesn't quite fit in the puzzle piece well enough for me to excuse it.
Yeah. Personally, I would say that The Ugly is that kind of going off of that, where it's like the motives of the creature don't really make a lot of sense. I would say that, like, I would warn people, but just be like, if you want it, I would ask them if they want it to be more of like watch it seriously or if they want like a fun game. That would be kind of the warning. And the game that I would say is like, okay, the creature of the Black Lagoon, just imagine that he's the slimy band kid from high school. And the girl, Kay, is the cheerleader he has a crush on. Watch the entire movie. Tell me that I'm wrong, that's not the dynamic that they have. He sees her swimming and he is transfixed. And it doesn't help that, the Gilman's suit, he's sitting there like his mouth watching her swim by, and then he's like swimming under her just like, see, I'm cool, I can be kind of athletic, I play the tuba. And then he's like reaching out, he's like, I'm going to touch her ankle, oh but I don't want to, I'm going to get her ankle but I don't want to, oh I touched her, I gotta get away. Mm-hmm. Like, and then the entire time it's just like whenever she's alone away from the jock boyfriend, And all of the mean kids that pick on him, that's when he tries to grab her and woo her. But he's so awkward and weird that he doesn't know the difference between like a consensual flirt and outright assault. So that's what I would say is the ugliest. It's just like, if you want to play it as a fun game, that's the dynamic that the creature actually has. And the whole Black Lagoon is literally him trying to get the cheerleaders' attention in the lunchroom while avoiding all of the mean jocks, also known as the scientists.
Oh my gosh.
Tell me I'm wrong, DJ. Tell me I'm wrong.
That actually makes me think it was like, he's not what I looked at when I thought of a scientist. He's not the one I expected him to be when he came to my class either. He came in like the football star, but it turns out he's a biologist.
No, he's a jock. He's so mean to the cheerleader. I'm the nice guy. Gilman. Gilbert the Gillman.
Oh my gosh. What about the iconic? You go first this time.
I think that the iconic of this movie is that we have finally admitted that the only true people who actually have any semblance of humanity are those with college educations. It's about time we admitted it.
You took a different direction than the main characters. Like, no, it's not. It's not that they're not main characters. It's that they don't have college degrees.
Exactly.
Those
That's why
plebeians.
we don't care about them. They're not actual people. I have a PhD. I'm a pretty huge deal. That's my practically human degree.
There was that point, the point in the movie where they're like 4 people have died, and they're like, oh, if the doctor got maimed, if he dies, it'll be a tragedy. What about the other people? And then Mark dies. Mark, and it's like Mark. 2 people have died. It's like, what do you mean 2? There's 4 other people involved.
Well, and it's like Kay as well. Like, literally, Mark drowns, and then what's the boyfriend's name? The jock.
David.
David. Okay, yeah. So David goes and he's like, "Well, we've got to clear this debris." And then Kay stops and goes, "This expedition doesn't need 2 martyrs. What about the 4 or 5 other people who have died, Kay? They're not people. It's fine. Why? They don't have college educations. They're not important. If the captain dies, we'll figure it out. Why?
I did like the part where the captain pulled the knife on him, and he's like, "What'd you say? I'm in charge." Yeah, that's what I thought, sucker.
Yeah. All right, but actually, my legitimate iconic about this is, I would say that the Gillman actually is iconic in that the effects that they have on him are incredible. Everything that surrounds him is incredible. All the shots that are filmed under the water, the fact that he's a creature that's in the water and on the land. He's this wholly unique monster. None of the other monsters have been able to do this, where it's actually like, you can see him having in the 1950s the effects that Jaws had in the 70s, where people would be afraid of the water, like swimming in a river. Well, the Gillman's floating around in the river, he might drown you. So I would say that it's iconic just in the case that it's a monster that is completely and truly unique. All of the other monsters kind of come out of folklore. Obviously, when it comes to Universal, the first truly Universal created monster is the Mummy with Boris Karloff. But this is a creature that is fully original. Mummies creeping out of the tomb, that's been creepy since like the 1920s, the 1800s. Creature of the Black Lagoon is a truly unique creature. He's a truly unique monster. So I would say that that's the iconic part of it, is that they've created this whole new genre of feature. It's a legitimate creature feature.
Gotcha.
And probably the first
one. Yeah, it's definitely like a unique creature, because the other monsters were like, what was it, like ethereal beings. You know, the Mummy is like a cursed reawaken of Dracula's a vampire. Yeah. Frankenstein's monster is created life from death.
Yeah.
you know, these are the Wolfman is cursed. You know, these are
The Invisible Man's a science experiment gone wrong.
yeah, these are all like created or like mythical monsters, and then you have the creature of the lagoon, which is like a creature that you could actually see existing, like a missing link, like that thing that just is. It doesn't. It's not. We don't know if it's really malicious or what it is. It's just a creature that we don't understand, and it just acts.
Yeah. Is it an animal? Is it a man? It's in between.
Yeah, that was the part I got out of the film that I liked. I just don't like the delivery of it.
Yeah.
For me, the iconic portion was the fact that out of all the Universal films, this is the first one that does like underwater filming. I don't know if other films have done underwater filming before this one, but the nature of recording underwater and being able to get like those clear shots they got underwater was impressive. And a lot of it, from what I understand, was like effects where they took non-underwater shots and made it look like underwater. Some of it's actually filmed underwater, and they mixed them together to get some of the effects. That is impressive. Some of the best special effects we've seen in a Universal film, I think, since The Invisible Man, like did the invisible like.
Well, yeah, The Invisible Man. That whole effect is incredible. This one's the first one too, where you actually have like an animatronic-esque. I don't know how they did it, but like the mask, the creature's face moves. He actually can move his lips. He's when he's swimming.
The breathing face.
Yeah.
That like gasping for air thing. That was a really clever touch, and I don't know how they pulled that off. I don't know if he was able to move it in the suit, or if it was a mechanical thing, or how it was done. But man, that was impressive.
Yeah, like the creature's effects are.
Yeah, that was really impressive. I'm looking at this thing. I'm like, this doesn't look like a film, like a cheesy creature that was done a long time ago. This looks like an actual animal that could exist.
Yeah, it's
especially. I will end my iconic on one scene when they have him captured and he's just sitting in the cage and he's just looking, just staring at them, just and his mouth just moving. He's just like. He looks like he's just sitting there perfectly still. And you're like, he has gills. He has to move to breathe. He's holding his breath and waiting intentionally.
He's waiting for them to move far enough for him to just reach up.
And and then he slowly moves. He goes really slow and he starts checking. And then suddenly he breaks free. That was an amazing scene. Those are the scenes when it was really good. The problem is it was so inconsistent. Those fell. Yeah. So, but if you can latch on to like those incredible scenes like that, it makes the film kind of worth watching.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so let's say that Universal decides to finally make a remake of The Creature of the Black Lagoon for a modern audience. Of all the creatures that they have in their arsenal, this is the one creature that's like purely a Universal thing, and they never really have made another one. I can't think of a single time that they've made a creature.
I tell you how you remake it. You remake it where the creature, the Gillman, and the woman actually are in love with each other, and they have a relationship because they actually made that movie.
Calm down, Guillermo. Calm down.
They actually made that movie. It's a thing because the guy who watched Creature of Black Lagoon as a kid thought that it was a love story, and when he realized that wasn't a thing, he decided he was going to do it himself.
Yeah, Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah, I know.
Guillermo.
I know.
Yeah.
But I thought they were in love with each other. Oh, he was in love with her. She was not in love with him.
Well, he's just a Black Lagoon dirtbag, baby. Anyway.
Actually, one of my favorite takes on this character is Missing Link from Alien Monsters vs. Aliens.
Yeah.
Where he's just like, he just wanted to like have friends and people just didn't understand him and freaked out. And so he just kind of gave up.
And it kind of gives more depth to that character too, because it is very clearly referencing.
No, now
he's malicious in the very first scene he's in, but after that, he literally is just approaching them.
I now like they literally Missing Link from Monsters vs. Aliens. They came directly from this film, and now I understand that character better, like where the it came from. Like, I just wanted friends. Like, he's actually a really nice guy, but he pretends to be a jerk because he's just lonely and he thinks that nobody likes him.
Yeah.
Like that's actually my favorite, I think, modern take of the character. And honestly, I would love to take a film that way with it. Like, obviously you could do the horror route and like go really dark horror with it. But I think it'd be really fun to have the missing link just be like really misunderstood, and like he's really just trying to make friends, and like or just like save. I made the joke, like I think I would do the comedy route where he's actually trying to like save them, and like all the people he's killed were like horrible, awful, like serial killers that were well known. We were watching the movie, made the joke. It's like, there, I finally killed the last of the Marxie brothers, those notorious killers of the Amazon.
You lead people in here saying that they have a fascinating discovery.
And then they kill everyone. It actually turns out that he's benevolent. Everything he's doing is trying to help them, and it's just like a horror comedy. That's what I would do with it.
Kind of like a Tucker and Dale versus
Tucker and Dale versus Evil,
but
yes.
Gilman versus Evil.
But it's Gilman, and but it's like played like horrifically, much like there's real horror and like depth to it. But he's actually just trying to help them, and he's just really awkward and bad at it. That's the way I would do it.
Yeah, I think that if I had to do it for a modern audience, I think that the premise in and of itself, creature in the middle of the rainforest, kind of this lost, undiscovered area. I think that you could really lean into that. You could take it back to be like, you could do like an expedition early on in the 1900s or something like that. Even like with the creature, even modern day, like there's parts of the Amazon that still aren't like.
Well, you've even done like the Anaconda films were set in modern time at the time they were filmed.
So
and they do a good job of still making the Amazon terrifying.
Right, and that's the thing is you could just kind of lean into that where you could have this black, the legend of the Black Lagoon kind of thing, and you could do it where it's like it's in the United States and the local teenagers don't really necessarily care and make it more like a slasher kind of thing where it's like you have a decrepit old like summer camp that this creature just literally always runs off. And it's like this legend. I have slashers in my head, unfortunately. I've been reading the Indian Lake
No,
trilogy,
I'm actually
so
with you on that. If you're gonna do like a dark horror, the camp is actually a good one to do. The reason so many slasher films use summer camps is because you're out in the middle, you're out in the woods in the middle of nowhere. A lot of camps are usually 2 to 3 hours away from major civilization. There might be a small town nearby, but there's no like major sources of anything.
Yeah.
So you feel isolated. It's a great way to isolate. It's an easy way for the plot to say why no one's coming to help.
Yeah.
Like there's no one around. Like you're just alone. Like there's like and they often do it with like a small group of teenagers because they're like running off or somewhere they're not supposed to be.
Yeah.
But even then, like some horror films have done camps where there's like hundreds of kids. They still make it work because even 1 or 2 kids dying at a summer camp, even full of 100 people, is terrifying.
It's tragic.
And it takes a day or two probably for them to arrange to get everyone out of there.
Right. And so I think that you could kind of lean into that and you could go more of like the modern American slasher with this supernatural creature. And then you have the misunderstanding where maybe like you have a couple of the characters think that, well, no, he's just misunderstood. He's just lonely. He doesn't have anybody hanging out with him. And then it's like, no, he actually is like this evil malevolent creature. You can also go, Amazon, uncharted waters, uncharted river, and make it, where there's this thing in the water that they haven't discovered yet. I think that it would be more terrifying though in an American town context because
I think it's part of the reason the Mummy films.
You're getting more of that effect of like, the summer when you're going out and you're boating on the lake, there might be a thing in the lake.
I think it's part of the reason that the Mummy films brought it to America was because it hit home. Like, oh, that's a scary thing, but it's in Egypt. When they brought it to home soil, I think that gave it a lot more levity to the situation. And honestly, I found like that second to last one terrifyingly cleverly put together, where it's like this guy's girl from Egypt like gets possessed by a spirit, and then like the mummy attacks a bunch of people in America, like a small town America where we're safe in the South. Like it was in Georgia, like Louisiana. They're getting attacked by a mummy. Like that's from the swamp. I think kind of that's where the Black Lagoon came from. Is they had the idea but they used the mummy to do it, and it was clever, but it didn't quite work. The Black Lagoon, I think, was their take of no, this is like a horror that you said, that you could be in your backyard. That's pretty terrifying, and putting it that close to home, like at in a small town, not out in the jungle in the middle of nowhere where people aren't out as much. There's not as much civilization. Like put it in civilization, definitely would like hit home a lot more, much like that second to last Mummy did.
Yeah. Another thing that you could do is you could take a modern twist on it, and you can make an animated series about a kid with social anxiety where he's constantly afraid of all the new things that are happening in his school, and call it The Teacher from the Black Lagoon. I'm not referencing an actual series of books or anything. I've gotten you 3 times.
Or you have the creature just be a benevolent fish people under the water, and then they come up to the surface because they want to meet people and get a Vespa. And you call it Luca.
Or you could have the gill people come up from the ocean because they're actually Kraken. One of them could be named Ruby Gilman.
Teenage Kraken.
Teenage Trope.
Teenage Crackalacken.
Oh, that movie's awful.
Okay.
Anyway, speaking about awful, if you don't think that our videos are awful, we do appreciate the likes and comments. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. What did you think about Creature of the Black Lagoon, our videos, things that we are doing on the channel? We're always open to feedback. Otherwise, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing and sharing us with your friends if they like movies as much as you like movies. Clearly, you like movies if you like this channel. Share us with your friends.
Or you hate yourself. I don't know. One or the other.
I mean, that's why I'm subscribed. Anyway, I got 2 plugs before we completely wrap this up. First plug, we like to talk about all the series and stuff when we actually have like the physical copies. This is the Universal Classic Monsters complete 30 film collection by Universal. They released it for the 100th anniversary of the studio, and it features, as I said, 30 films from the classic Universal Monster universe. They are completely redone. The visuals are gorgeous. The music, the sound is done very, very well. So if you want to follow along, this is the Universal Classic Monsters complete 30 film collection on Blu-ray. Otherwise, second plug, we are wrapping up our Universal Monster movies. We only have 3 left, I believe, at this point. And then we'll probably do one episode just revisiting the whole 30 movies that we just watched. After that, though, just announcing it right now, we are going to be continuing this kind of theme, and we're going to be moving into Hammer horror. We have a box set of about 7 or 8 Hammer horror films, so that will be the next series, so be sure to be looking out for that soon. Otherwise, do you have any final thoughts?
Nope.
All right, then. We'll see you guys in the next video.
Thanks for watching.